My favorite TV show, The Office, has many episodes that deal with ethical dilemmas, but one of my favorite ones is when the two co-managers, Michael Scott and Jim Halpert, have found out that their employee bonuses have been slashed. They come up with many solutions on how they're going to solve this problem, but their most famous one is they laid out pictures of each worker and put beans to decide who is going to get the bonuses. Now, in our lives, we come across problems every day, and we have to figure out how we're going to solve them. And business is no exception. As a business student, I feel it's my personal job to learn how to work well with others in a workplace. Because I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. And ethics controls our lives, and how we respond to problems reflects who we are and how we put ourselves out in the world. So today I want to discuss what ethics is, why it's important to me, and how it affects, and how we can take it out of the business world and into the real world. In a 2005 article, they described ethical behavior as just the moral judgments we make when forced with an ethical problem. It can be choices simple like picking whether to have an apple or donut for breakfast, or big choices like the economic decisions that led to the recession of 2008. Employees, however, have been found to always seem to act ethically appropriate rather than acting ethically inappropriate. But how they decide which is appropriate, inappropriate, is based on the leadership that their superiors show them. In a 2013 journal, they described moral managers as those who use their social power to represent the best interests of the organization and employees and set personal and professional example of ethical appropriate conduct and actively manage ethical accountability. So the way that these managers hold themselves, the way they treat their employees, and basically the way they run their business will decide how their employees make decisions and how effective their business will be, which is a very crucial learning point I found in business school. As a business student, it is important to understand how to act ethically and how our actions have consequences. All the time we're going through business case studies where people have made decisions and we have to decide why they were right and wrong based on our own beliefs. Last semester in my Information Systems Technology Management class, we had to build these portfolios, which are just creative resumes online. In these portfolios, we had to elaborate on the Mays Transformational Leader Development Framework, which is how the business school brands and puts out their leaders. In this framework, there's competencies and mindsets, and both talked about acting ethically and ethics, which I thought to myself, if the people who came up with this framework had to add it in twice, it's obviously got to be very important. And to be a Mays leader doesn't just apply to the business world, it also applies to the real world, and it's the same with ethics. Ethics doesn't stop at the workplace. We every day work with others and have to know how to work well with them. In a 2007 article, in the U.S., approximately 1 in 6, or 17% of workers, are victims of workplace bullying. This includes silent treatments, rumors, attacking the victim's private life, excessive criticism, or monitoring of work. So bullying doesn't just end in high school. Adults still terrorize each other. But why we would be personally harmful to each other, there has to be something else. Bullying is a repetitive and continuous cycle, but I believe that learning ethics and learning how to be good managers and put yourself out there as a good leader will help eliminate these problems. Understanding that helps you understand ethics. And like I said before, ethics controls our lives and controls the decisions that we make. We can choose to act poorly based on what everyone else around us is doing, or choose to set ourselves apart and act in the best behavior to be an example. Whichever one we choose, our decisions always have consequences. If we understand this, we can understand how to leave our ethical and moral mark on the world.